Imagine surviving weeks of psychological torture, watching your family fall apart, losing your friends, questioning your own sanity, only to discover that the worst night of your life hasn't even begun. Just when the Bowden family thinks they're finally escaping Max Cady's nightmare, he makes one final move, one so brutal that it changes everything. A family burns alive. Long-buried secrets rise to the surface, and before the night is over, the man everyone feared will put the Bowdens on trial, inside their own home. This isn't just the ending of Cape Fear. It's the moment every lie, every betrayal, and every act of revenge finally collides. Before we jump into the finale, here's a quick reminder of where the story left us. Throughout the season, Max Cady has transformed the Bowdens' peaceful lives into an endless nightmare. He hasn't relied only on violence. Instead, he's manipulated people, exposed hidden secrets, and slowly destroyed the family's trust in one another. By the end of episode 9, Anna Bowden finally uncovers evidence that could expose Max once and for all. But escaping with that evidence won't be easy. She's trapped aboard the Cady family's isolated houseboat, surrounded by dangerous people who know she's learned too much. With no other option, Anna throws herself into the freezing Cape Fear River. She doesn't know if she'll survive the swim. She only knows that staying means certain death. As she disappears into the darkness, Max finally arrives at the houseboat. And what happens next is one of the most shocking moments in the entire series. Max quickly realizes Anna has escaped. For just a brief second, disappointment flashes across his face. But then, his attention shifts towards his own family. Crystal tries to calm him down. She insists they've all suffered enough. She even asks whether he can finally forgive everything that's happened between them. But forgiveness isn't something Max Cady understands anymore. Without warning, he pulls out his gun. A deafening gunshot echoes across the water. Crystal collapses. Before anyone can react, another shot rings out. This time, Luke falls to the ground. Robert, Max's aging father, desperately tries to intervene. It's a hopeless effort. Max strikes him down without hesitation. Within seconds, the entire Cady family has fallen apart. The people who spent years manipulating, abusing, and lying to one another now find themselves completely at Max's mercy. But Max isn't finished, not even close. He drags Crystal and Luke below the deck. His father is locked inside a steel cage. Then Max calmly begins pouring gasoline across the entire boat. Every room, every hallway, every corner. The smell of fuel fills the air. For a moment, everything becomes eerily quiet. Then, Max lights the match. The flames spread almost instantly. Wood cracks, windows explode. Smoke pours into the night sky. Instead of running, Max simply stands on the shoreline, watching, almost peacefully. The burning boat slowly drifts away into the darkness, before finally disappearing in a massive explosion. It's a horrifying image, yet it also tells us something important. The old Max Cady, the man driven by revenge against those who wronged him, is gone. What's left is someone far more dangerous, someone who has nothing left to lose. Meanwhile, Anna is still fighting for her life. Exhausted from the freezing river and barely able to stand, she finally reaches the roadside. Every muscle in her body is giving out. She waves desperately at passing cars. Thankfully, one family stops. Covered in mud, soaked from head to toe, and visibly traumatized, Anna struggles to explain what has happened. She only asks for one thing: take her back to Savannah. She doesn't have time to explain. She has to stop Max before it's too late. Elsewhere, Tom Bowden finally catches a break. After spending days behind bars, he's released on bail thanks to an unexpected ally who begins questioning everything she believed about the case. For the first time in what feels like forever, Tom can finally return to his family. But freedom doesn't bring relief, it brings urgency, because Max is still out there, and Tom knows exactly who Max will come after next. As morning arrives, Savannah seems completely unaware of the horror that's unfolding beneath the surface. Max has somehow managed to continue building his new life. His restaurant is opening. Supporters gather outside wearing shirts declaring his innocence. Television crews arrive. Reporters prepare to celebrate what many believe is the redemption story of an innocent man. To the public, Max Cady is a victim, a man failed by the justice system, a survivor. No one realizes they're standing only feet away from one of the most dangerous men in the city. But someone is about to change that. Anna. Still bruised, still exhausted, still refusing to surrender. She walks directly towards the celebration, and hidden in her hands is the evidence that could destroy Max forever. But what happens next changes everything. Because exposing Max won't stop him. It will only make him more dangerous than ever. Just when it seems like Max Cady has erased every trace of his past, Anna Bowden walks straight into his biggest moment. The grand opening of Max's brand new restaurant has become a media spectacle. Reporters crowd the entrance, supporters cheer his name. Some even wear t-shirts declaring that Max was framed and deserves justice. To the outside world, he's no longer a criminal. He's a survivor. Exactly the image Max has spent months creating. But Anna is about to tear that image apart. She slowly makes her way through the crowd. No one notices her at first. She's soaked, bruised, exhausted, but determined. Max spots her almost immediately. For just a split second, his confident smile disappears, because he knows something is wrong. Anna isn't here to argue. She's here to expose him. At first, everyone thinks she's carrying a gun. The crowd freezes. Security begins moving toward her. But instead of pulling out a weapon, she lifts a small Bluetooth speaker into the air. What comes out of that speaker changes everything. A recorded confession begins playing. The voice belongs to Nevaeh. One by one, she reveals Max's manipulation, how he ordered her to infiltrate the Bowden family, how he convinced her to poison their drinks with hallucinogens, how he manipulated Zach, how every horrifying event was carefully planned from the beginning. The crowd falls silent. The cheering stops. For the first time, people begin looking at Max with fear instead of admiration. But Max doesn't panic. Instead, he laughs. He claims the recording is fake, artificial intelligence, another attempt to destroy his reputation. For a moment, some people actually believe him. Then Anna delivers her second blow. Behind Max, giant video screens suddenly come to life. The crowd watches in stunned silence as footage begins to play. It's Max himself, his own words, his own voice, urging Amy Brancato to take her own life. Every excuse he could have made disappears instantly. The truth is now impossible to deny. The cameras capture everything. The reporters keep filming. His supporters slowly back away. Years of carefully crafted lies collapse in less than 60 seconds, and Max completely loses control. His face twists with rage. He charges toward Anna. His hands wrap around her throat. The cameras continue rolling. Everyone finally sees the monster hiding beneath the charming public image. Security rushes in. Police officers tackle Max to the ground. Even as he's dragged away in handcuffs, he never takes his eyes off Anna. He doesn't scream. He doesn't beg. He simply stares, as if silently promising, this isn't over. For the first time in weeks, the Bowden family believed they might finally be safe. Tom is home. Anna survived. Natalie returns. Even Zach finally makes it back after escaping the psychiatric facility where Max's influence had nearly destroyed him. For one brief moment, the family is together again. It almost feels normal. Tom uses this rare moment to tell Zach a painful truth he's hidden for years. The death of Tom's brother wasn't an accident. It was suicide. Tom admits he spent years burying the memory because facing it felt impossible. But after everything Max has forced them to confront, there are no more secrets. The conversation becomes one of the finale's quietest yet most emotional moments. Because while Max has spent the entire season tearing this family apart, honesty finally begins putting them back together. But peace never lasts in Cape Fear. Outside, dark clouds gather over Savannah. Weather reports warn that a powerful hurricane is moving directly toward the city. Emergency evacuations begin. The streets slowly empty. Nature itself seems to be preparing for disaster. And just when the Bowdens think things couldn't possibly get worse, the police arrive. Their expressions say everything. Something has gone terribly wrong. On the way to prison, Max escaped. Again. According to officers, he suffered what looked like a medical emergency during transport. As the escorting officer tried to help, Max attacked him. Within moments, he disappeared. The police apologize. They promise they'll find him. They search the Bowden house. Every room, every hallway, every closet. Finding nothing, they leave, believing the family is safe. But the audience already knows something they don't. Max has never stopped watching them. As thunder echoes across the sky, the Bowdens begin packing. Tom insists Anna should leave with the children immediately. He has made up his mind. If Max comes back, Tom intends to end it himself. Years of fear, months of manipulation, countless lives destroyed. Tom believes there's only one way to stop it. Anna doesn't want to leave him, but deep down, she understands why he's making this decision. The family hugs one another. It feels less like a goodbye and more like preparation for war. Then, the camera slowly pulls back. Rain pours across the roof. Lightning flashes overhead. Standing perfectly still, almost blending into the storm itself, is Max Cady. He's already there, watching, smiling. The image is unforgettable. A lone figure standing above the family home while a hurricane approaches. It's almost supernatural, as if Max isn't just stalking the Bowdens anymore. He's become the storm itself. Neither Tom, nor Anna, nor the police have any idea he's only a few feet away. The trap has already been set, and the Bowden family is walking straight into it. Inside the house, everything appears quiet. Too quiet. Zach hears an unfamiliar sound coming from upstairs. Curious, he walks toward the window. He opens it. For one brief second, nothing. Then, a shadow drops from the roof. Before Zach can even scream, Max crashes through the opening and grabs him. The nightmare has returned. Only this time, there will be nowhere left to run. With the Bowden family trapped inside their own home, Max forces everyone to confront the secrets they've hidden for years. What begins as a hostage situation quickly becomes an emotional reckoning, with every confession exposing another layer of deception. But the biggest revelation completely shatters Max's world. Anna pieces together the truth behind Melissa's death and Luke's identity, revealing that Max's understanding of his own past may have been built on lies. In a heartbreaking twist, Max realizes the tragedy he's been mourning for years is far more devastating than he ever imagined. For the first time in the series, the man who terrified everyone else is left emotionally broken. But there's no time to grieve. Natalie finds the courage to fight back. Zach breaks free from Max's psychological grip, and the Bowdens launch one final desperate attack. The confrontation spills outside into the raging storm, ending with Tom overtowering Max in the family's swimming pool. It looks like the nightmare is finally over, but one final decision changes everything. As Tom holds Max underwater, it seems inevitable that he'll end the terror once and for all. Then Anna stops him. Instead of taking revenge, the Bowdens choose justice. They refuse to become killers themselves, deciding that Max should spend the rest of his life behind bars rather than die at their hands. On the surface, the family wins. Max is arrested. The immediate danger is over, but the emotional scars remain. The final scenes show the Bowdens trying to return to normal life, yet neither Tom nor Anna can truly relax. They instinctively look over their shoulders, suggesting that while Max may be imprisoned, the fear he created will never completely disappear. The finale also leaves several questions unanswered, including the mystery surrounding Natalie's DNA results and the full truth about Max's past. Rather than providing complete closure, the series ends on an uneasy note, reminding us that trauma doesn't simply vanish once the villain is gone. That's what makes the ending so memorable. The real battle wasn't just against Max Cady, it was against fear itself, and even after surviving, the Bowdens may never fully escape it.